Alicia?
Yeah.
Hey, you breaking up. And then once you get settled, you can start talking.
Oh, that's why I can't see myself. Yeah, but
I guess it's the countdown. I don't know. All right. I guess we're all in here. Okay. Well, good evening to everyone. Welcome to my first live. It's exciting. For the bottom line is my podcast. So week 4 is where we just do lives. We answer comments that people have had from past episodes and all that jazz. And tonight's episode is the controversial topic called Does Size Matter? Now, I know when people hear that cliche statement, their minds go right to the gutter, but we're going to try to keep it clean for you all. So, but before I get into much to the topic, I want to just, go ahead and introduce my friends that have been so graciously nice to join me on this live. So, I'm going to go around table and let them tell you a little bit about themselves as well. So, we're going to start with Portia. Hey, Portia.
Hi, thank you for having me. Portia, I'm living out here in Charlotte right now, working at a financial institution. I'm not what else do I need to share? I'm
No,
sure.
you don't have to share that part. Okay, so I'll let everybody know if you haven't watched Portia. This is her second time joining us on The Bottom Line Is. Her episode aired, I believe it was this month, the imposter syndrome. So if you haven't watched that, make sure that you do so. A great topic, and I feel like everybody in some shape or form can relate. So next, I'm gonna go to my friend Danielle. Danielle, say hey.
Hey, I'm Danielle. I live in Baltimore, and I believe I was on your Working Moms episode.
Yes, it's the relationship with kids. And actually, look out for Danielle on that episode. It's coming the first Friday in June. So that will be exciting. Just talking about how to navigate trying to have a relationship while being a single parent. So a lot of people can relate to that. And she's my happy hour buddy. Yay.
Yeah, yeah.
As I have my one. Hey, it got to be relatable.
Exactly.
And last but certainly not least, my girl Alicia.
hi, good evening, everybody. I'm Alicia. I reside in Baltimore, Maryland. Um, I work for myself. I have a mental health company, and I do business consulting and HR consulting as well. And I try to get everybody to start their own business. So that's who I am.
Yeah. And you may have remember Alicia's episode where she was talking about, some cool steps in trying to go ahead and initiate starting a business. So if you're interested in that, make sure you look and check out the episode. And then she will be on a future episode coming to you in June, I believe, week 3. So another episode. So that will be exciting. But let's go ahead and without further ado, get to the topic at hand. So as we're kind of going through the live, for those of you that are watching, feel free to comment. I'll be reading the comments as well as we are going through this. And yeah. So I can't remember who I was talking to about this, but somebody has said, because I'm single. So somebody is always trying to match me up. And somebody said to me, well, I only date guys that are taller than me. And I mean, I'm 5'8", and I feel like those pickings is slim. But I mean, why do we care? Like like my trainer said earlier today, when we lay down in the bed, I mean, we all gonna be the same height, right? I mean, what y'all think? Do y'all think date that guys like taller than y'all, shorter than y'all? Do you care? I mean, whoever wants to start, go ahead.
I was trying to come up with, go ahead.
Go ahead. Nope, you go ahead.
And maybe we should start by saying like how tall we are, because that definitely I feel like has an opinion, like changes the opinion. True. 2 and 5'8". Because yeah, people ask me all the time.
I think most of my friends pretty much are all about my height, or but maybe just a little bit shorter. Because how tall are you, Danielle?
I'm 5'5".
Okay, and then Alicia, how tall are you?
I'm about 5'4", wanting to be 5'5".
Oh shoot, I be thinking you my height.
Well, because it's look, you look, Sierra, you hang around women who have this grandiose mentality, right? So we all about the same height in reality.
That's true. That's true. You know, yeah, we all roll the same. I respect that.
Yes, yes.
So have you all, I think everybody on here too has, I think, used a dating site too, but I mean, do you swipe left, meaning no, when you see that somebody is below your height, or do you swipe right if they cute? Like what do y'all do?
So so for me personally, height is not a deal breaker.
Mm-hmm.
I can deal with somebody who's my height or taller. Like I'm not gonna say I wouldn't talk to a guy who was shorter than me, but since I am 5'5", that's really short if he's shorter than me. And so I'm like, but it's not to say that I wouldn't. It depends on so many other factors. But I'm not gonna be as excited if he's shorter than me, honestly, but I'm not gonna say I wouldn't give him a chance.
Okay. I mean, what other factors, play a role in, like, if he is, let's say, 5'4"? No, because you say you 5'5", so yeah, 5'4".
Yeah, I'm 5'5". 5'4". So if he's legit like anywhere between 5'2" and 5'5", or let me just say anywhere below 5'5". If he's shorter than me, he has to bring a lot more to the table. And I know that may sound bad, but but honestly, I don't feel bad about it, because there's many, many, many men out there who have preferences on women. Like, okay, if she got a stomach, or if she don't got a fat ass, you know what I'm saying, then she has to bring something else to the table. So I don't feel bad in having my preference on height. Like I said, it's not a deal breaker 100%, but it is a big factor. It's important to me, and I don't feel bad about that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What about y'all, Alicia or Portia? What do y'all think? Swipe left or swipe right?
If I'm on a dating app, just because initial attraction makes a difference in terms of whether to go further, I'm probably going to swipe left. But not if they're, I was about to lie. No, if they had to like, yeah. So yeah, if they're like 5'8" or above, then that's fine. The funny thing is, though, I like to meet people more so in person. So if I look at the people I've dated, you wouldn't be able to say I had a type. They look like the village people, like a broad spectrum.
Not the village people, yo, the YMCA.
Like everybody is just so unique and so different. You wouldn't be able to like, oh yeah, that's her type. Oh no, everybody is so different. But their personalities are always really genuine and good and charismatic in some way. Mm-hmm. That's what I would say.
All right, Portia, what you think?
I mean, for me, it's hard. I have dated guys that were shorter than me, and it never turns out the way it should. So for me, it's a no.
She just said straight no. She's like, I'm not even going to add anything else. I mean, obviously, I haven't had that much experience, but the only experience that I have had has been people a couple notches shorter than me. So I feel like for me, not that I go out that much, but when I do wear my heels, I'm towering over them. And I mean, I'm confident. If they're confident, I think that makes a difference. If they're like shorter than me and they're like, their swag is on point, then I mean, that's fine. That's a vibe. As long as you match my vibe, I mean, I don't think it's a deal breaker or anything like that, but I do feel like, Danielle, you got to bring more to the table, with it, such as your confidence. I mean, I don't know. But again, I'm neutral because I ain't had that much experience. That's why y'all on here say no. Like, I'm playing with y'all. But no, for real. I mean, I feel like if we were all at the club though, I'm not even gonna lie to you, if a guy tapped my shoulder and I looked back and he was shorter, I think I would make a face. I'm not even gonna hold you.
You did. I saw this in Atlanta. Remember?
Yeah, because it catch you off guard. You like,
I can't.
Had on heels. We were going out. It was, So
y'all know me. I mean, sometimes it's hard to hide the expressions on my face. Drink, sip.
Yeah.
I can't. I can understand that. I mean, so his height is not gonna make me look at him some kind of way. Mm-hmm. I honestly can say I would give a man shorter than me a good chance. I would. But again, like we keep saying, it boils down to all the other things. Like, if you insecure in your height, like you said, confidence. If you have a lot of insecurities and you keep commenting on my height, or you keep commenting on, oh, well, why are you wearing heels today? Like, that's a no. I need you to be confident in our relationship and your height and my height and where we are. And I know we're probably going to talk about this in a little bit, but it's the same thing with salaries. It's the confidence.
Right.
It doesn't have it's not an automatic no.
Mm-hmm. No,
depending on the circumstance.
Yeah, I mean, I seen this video actually, and it was weird after I had announced what this topic was going to be, and it came through on my Instagram, a reel, and it was a person who has dwarfism. Hopefully, I'm saying that correctly. But they came out like, I mean, clean, fresh waves. You know what I mean? Walking. I was like, okay, cutie in the face. Okay, like I'm like, all right. You know what I'm saying? Like, but then I'm like, dang, I do HR. Does that sound discriminatory?
No, it's called preference. Everybody has one, girl.
I know, but I mean, but what I will say I liked about that video, and I liked it, was because he came out there with his swag on point, like I said. So, and that's half the battle. So, okay, so with height, and then you already touched on it a little bit, Danielle, with salary. So, all of my friends, I mean, we're no Oprah, right? But we do good for ourselves, and I feel like, even in 2024, that some men, they feel like they should be making more than their woman, and I'm just like, but if we don't do the same type of work, how can you monetize that? Like, how can you compare that? So, but that one, I'm gonna start off with Alicia on that one, because I done heard her say he can't match me, and I might not be saying her saying right, but yeah, Alicia, what you think?
So realistically, I guess it just depends on what you're used to. So realistically, the more and more I personally grow financially, there's going to be less and less men that can match what I'm making
in your circle. Yeah,
and that's just what it is. That's just the numbers. The numbers are the numbers. However, I'm not a tree. I can move. So if I need to go to Africa, if I need to go to London, wherever I need to go, me, I will pack my bags and we'll be on our way. But aside from that, money is just I wouldn't say a small factor. It's a big factor in relationships. And a lot of times where they break up or people have trouble getting with people if the money doesn't match, because it changes your lifestyle. So if I've sacrificed I've still sacrificing year after year to make sure things are the way I want them to be and live a lifestyle that I want, it's no way that I'm going to have someone come and kind of share that lifestyle with me. Now, could I help them if there's somebody who has ambition? Yeah, I could be like, okay, well, honey, call this person. They can help you do X, Y, Z. Am I going to do it for them? No. But money's a
Mhm.
small factor. Money comes and goes, so it has to be more to it than just that. Yes, it's important. Yeah, no, I wouldn't date anybody who makes substantially less than me. I'm not even attracted to that, to be honest with you, because in my opinion, any man that's enterprising, I want a man like my dad, enterprising, hard worker, strong in lots of ways. And any man that's enterprising, he's going to find a way. If he's cutting grass, if he's whatever he has to do to make ends meet,
Mhm.
plus he'll do. So I'm looking for that type of man when I'm thinking about
Mhm.
men that's what I'm looking for. Those who work 9 to 5, nothing wrong with 9 to 5, but probably not gonna work for me because of not just money, but in terms of flexibility with time. I
Mhm.
like to go to happy hour at the 12 o'clock happy hour during the middle of the day.
You
I
like
like
that lunch special.
yeah, right. What's the lunch? I like to have flexibility in my time. So it's not just a money thing for me, it's a time flexibility, which a lot of times you don't really have if you're working somewhere else. Even if you're making 6 figures, you don't have that. So it's not just the 6 figures for me. I'm looking for the flexibility.
Yeah.
Realizing though, a lot of times when people have money, they don't have time. I'm I'm the
Mhm.
example of that right now. Super busy because sometimes you're working and you're hustling, trying to get to the next level. So it takes a while for that to even out, and I understand that, but you know,
Right.
it territory.
No, you need a boss. You need a man that's a boss, essentially. That, yeah, we already cleared that. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
I want someone who can teach me something. And I'm not saying that if you make less than me, you can't teach me anything. You can probably,
Mhm.
I mean, I'm sure you can teach me something. I just don't know what that thing is the second, but I'm sure it's something because it's more to life than finances and work. Maybe he'll teach me spirituality. That's something I'm really into. So it has to
Right.
be something about him. If the money isn't there like I like, then it would have to be spirituality. And even still would have to be that too. So I don't think money is a catch-all, but it is definitely important to quality of life.
No, for sure. I mean, why do y'all think that men like I said, in 2024 are still, I feel like they might say like, oh no, that doesn't bother me. I'm still going to do this for you, still do that. But why do you feel like, I don't know why they still like internalize that thought, you know what I mean? That they're not good enough because they can't be on our standards or our level or different things like that.
I mean, for me, it feels like they don't feel as needed. And that's just my personal experience. I've been the more financially well off one in a relationship in my last couple relationships. And I will say that even though men's like, oh, I want a woman that doesn't need me, in my experience, that's not really been the case. They want to feel needed in some way, whether it's, feeling they can take care of XYZ for their partner or being the breadwinner in a traditional sense. Like, I think when men can't do that, it creates like some type of insecurity, going back to confidence again. So it definitely depends on the man, but just in my experience, it creates this weird power dynamic situation
Mm-hmm.
that I don't feel until they bring it to my attention. And then
Mm-hmm.
it becomes a problem. And then it leads to automatically kind of what Alicia was saying, like the downfall of the relationship, because you feel that imbalance. And at the end of the day, you start feeling it's your fault for making more money or, having a better car, apartment, whatever the situation may be. But just my 2 cents as
Yeah.
to why it's important.
Well, when they bring it up and to the like if the man brings it up, would that be an immediate deal breaker or like how would you, I
I,
guess, remedy that situation?
for me, the ick is always, and I think this was like a TikTok trend, like the ick was, oh, you got a big money, or you got like, okay, don't worry, I won't ever ask again, Um, that's where the it comes in. But if it's like a natural part of the conversation, like I'm planning a trip and I'm like, hey, I would love for you to come. And they're like, that's not really in the budget for me. Like that's different than you bringing it up as like, not an entitlement, but like bringing it up almost to throw it in my face. So I think it
Mhm.
up in the conversation.
Okay. No, I got you. Danielle, what you thinking?
Thinking a lot of things. I'm gonna be honest. Alicia, is it Alicia or is it Alicia?
Alicia.
Alicia. Okay.
Mhm.
So I will say that I think that a lot of men feel the insecurities that Portia was bringing up because of how Alicia speaks on it. Not to say that you're wrong, and not to say that it's that you can't feel how you feel because baby, you make your money, you want somebody to match that, and I get it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that you mentioned something about you wanted somebody like your dad who, was a hard worker and went out and made his money. And I'm like, just because they make less than you doesn't make them less of a hard worker. And I feel like there's jobs in this world that everybody has to fill. Somebody got to do it, right? And as a woman who has always made decent money my entire career, when I first started dating my son's dad back in 2009, I made way more money than him. And that was why our relationship failed, because, and he brought it to my attention, like, you always want to do stuff and I can't afford it. And he's like, you was always like, I got it. And you never had a problem with it, but I did. And he was very honest with me. He was like, I had a problem with you always having it. And he was like, sometimes I wanted to have it, but I couldn't. And it was never an issue for me because I'm like, if I got it, we got it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's always how I carried the relationship, but the relationship still failed. So I think that at the end of the day, it's a conversation that just needs to be had. And it doesn't, just because a man makes less than a woman, it doesn't make him less valuable. It doesn't make him, but that's a conversation that needs to be had, especially with Black men and Black women.
Mm-hmm.
Because let's be real, it's the Black men. Like, a white man will be a stay-at-home daddy with no problems. Okay, he's like, oh, you want to make the money, baby, go ahead. But Black men, they need to provide. It's something ingrained in them, like they need to be the provider. And for some reason, us making more money than them, it makes them feel inadequate. And I'm not saying that should make us feel bad, because I never felt bad about making more money. But
right.
It's not a bad thing to have that conversation and be like, look, we got each other. Even if I have us financially and you have us, like you said, spiritually, or, you provide protection for our family. Like, it's a partnership.
Mm-hmm.
And, I'm not saying that, you making a whole lot of money, you have to go out and date, a man who's making $30,000 or $40,000 a year by any means. But I'm saying those men should not be made to feel inadequate, because, again, somebody has to do those jobs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We need somebody to do those jobs.
Mm-hmm.
And so if that's not your cup of tea, it's okay to say, hey, you know what? Without making them feel like it's because of their money, hey, I don't think it's going to work out. We're kind of at different points in our lives, and that's okay, but I just don't think it's going to work. But we don't have to make them feel inadequate just because they don't make enough money.
Mm-hmm.
So what inadequate? Is it the way that how do you think we can make sure they don't feel inadequate, I should say?
Well, communication. That's what I like. That's the only way. Communication. Hey, if you're feeling this kind of way, and like, I mean, my son's father, obviously we ended up having a child together, and we still communicate to this day. And we have a great, like, an amazing co-parenting relationship. But we did go through our trials and tribulations because of that when we were dating years and years ago. But it was communication. It was me literally sitting him down and saying, look, I get it. I'm not trying to make you feel inadequate. You feel inadequate though, but that's you. Like, that's you making yourself feel that way. That's not me. I never said I had a problem, but that's why I was saying with you, Alicia, like, you're basically saying, yes, I do have a problem with if you can't contribute. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. But bringing back light to why men feel so inadequate, it's because things like that are said. And again, not that they shouldn't, like, I got a stomach, right? I'm a little chubby, right? But I don't for a minute feel like I can't go walk up to a 6'5" built bodybuilder, okay, and shoot my shot.
Shoot.
But now I should, because of the way people talk about women with stomachs and with fat and online. I should feel like inadequate, but I don't, because that's my confidence. But I'm like, I have people around me who build that confidence. And it's the same thing for men. Like, a man should not feel like, oh, she's successful, I'm not even going to talk to her. I'm not even going to try it because I'm just not even on her level. It's the same exact thing. Like, we all just got to stop making everybody feel like they're not enough.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you say, hey, this is just my preference, it's okay. Like, have that conversation after the fact, after you and this person start talking. But I just feel like we got to stop putting out in the atmosphere. Like, don't even approach a woman who makes more than you. Don't even approach her, because, and that's what the vibe is. That's what the consensus is right now. Don't even approach a woman who you can even sense makes more money than you.
It go both ways. I feel like some girls now, this younger generation, not trying to, I don't like to age myself, but this younger generation, they're like, oh no, I want a high roller. I want this, I want that. And I'm just like, that's not really sustainable to have a relationship though. And like somebody wrote in the comments, partnership is key. I mean, you want somebody, yes, that's going to, again, match your vibe, match where you're trying to go, match where you aspire to be. I think of the famous relationship that's always controversial, Candy from Escape and Real Housewives of Atlanta and Todd. And I mean, the ladies on that show gave him so much flack because he was just a producer. And I mean, she's a multi-million Grammy winner. So what? He was, again, meeting her needs spiritually or personally, whatever the case is. And that's what she felt she needed to complete her. So, why not? Like, why we got to put a price tag on it? Because what was it? Tyler Perry's movie? I can't remember what it was. Acronym. I don't know what it was called, but I mean, he went from nothing to something, I mean, all it takes is for you to be able to have that one shot. And, I mean, with my ex, I mean, I supported his business and hoping that, we would have that consistent income, coming in. But, I mean, it worked for the time being, but I'm not always the great example, as you all know, with that. So
I was about to say there was a little more with that, Sierra. like we said, everything has to come together.
Y'all know, but they don't need to know. But no, I mean, I just don't think it should be a deal breaker if a man, again, is confident and is comfortable with what he's making. But I mean, it's not going to really come out till the check comes. And then, like you said, Danielle, if you keep paying for the check every time because he may not have it, and then he start feeling some type of way, then it's just like, all right, then I feel like I got to go the extra step to make you feel validated as a man. You know what I mean? That you're great, you're this, you're that, outside the bedroom. You know what I mean? Like, they got to have that validation. I mean, that's true, right? Like,
I mean, they need that regardless, which is why I'm single, because that's too much. But like constant validation, that's too much. Like,
yeah,
every once in a while, cool, but geez.
Yeah, it is a lot. I feel like it's a lot of hard work sometimes. But I feel like if it is a lot of hard work to be in a relationship, and then obviously that's not the relationship for you, because then when you can be your authentic self, then it should just kind of flow and be natural, right? But I don't know.
If I could add something, I think the undercurrent, like what we hear online, even like what I said today in terms of like, income being so important, I think the undercurrent to that's not being said is when people make a certain level of money, what we assume is, which is not always true, but what we assume is that they've made good decisions throughout their lives, and the outcome is an income, that they've been responsible, and the outcome is an increase in income, that they've been reliable and they've been someone who can be accountable for their actions, and the outcome is an increased income. We're not saying that. That's what we think internally. So when we're looking for more money, it's not so much the money as we are realizing that we believe that people are making these decisions, which in a domino effect makes a better life, which a lot of times to us, to the average person, equals more money. Maybe that's true, not, but that's what we think. And so if you're a woman who wants to find someone to lead her, I'm looking for someone who makes good decisions, who's accountable. So 1 + 1 doesn't always equal 2, but when we think of someone's income, we think that because in this physical world, success, that's why people think Puffy is a success, is looked at as more money.
That's true. Yeah, people do think money makes success.
Right.
That's just it.
Right. So if you're looking for someone to lead you, you might save more money, but what you're looking for are those attributes that are behind the scenes that you think
Mhm.
or believe equates to more financial earnings.
No, that's true. So, and feel free for anybody that's watching, don't be shy to give your opinion in the comments and things like that. We want to know. So, we talked about height, we talked about salary. What about, and this isn't a size, but I mean, I think it does matter, and we'll explore this more in June on Danielle's episode on the podcast. But does kids matter? I want to bring this to a broader subject. Does kids matter? So, I mean, we're all in our 30s and 40s, and does having kids matter to you when you are swiping left and swiping right? I don't know why I'm hooked on that, but because I have not swiped left or right in a very long time.
Is who's actively dating? Is it everybody but me?
It's just you, girl. It's just you. Yeah, I mean, well, I don't know. Everybody can speak for themselves. You're the only one in a relationship.
Because we're talking about all the subjects. I don't know if it provides context, but as Sierra knows, and probably anybody on my social media, my partner does have 2 children, which I care for very dearly. And when swiping, I normally would not swipe for someone who has kids. He will even say this, that he tricked me and did not tell me about the kids until we were about to go out on our first date. And he was like, hey, by the way, I got 2 kids. Very cool if it's a deal breaker. And it's his favorite story because he tricked me. And we've been together. It'll be 2 years coming soon. But to me, it did matter. And then here I am, full-blown relationship 2 years. So maybe it doesn't. But at the time when I was swiping, it did. So just throwing it out there.
Yeah, and I think it also makes a difference, too, the age of the kids, too. Because if they're grown kids, then it's like, I mean, I feel that, okay. But then if it's young kids that can be impressionable, then I don't know. I mean, I don't think it's a deal breaker for me, but I might not swipe the direction to find out more. If we were meeting and we already started having a conversation and we started vibing, then no, it wouldn't be a deal breaker. I mean, I love kids, but that
No fresh. Don't do anybody with fresh babies. You don't want. They still got
I don't want baby mama drama.
Baby, I don't care about no baby mama. If it's a newborn, we just not talking.
We ain't got you still got a chance with your baby mama, bro. Like, nah.
Exactly. It's a no. It's a no.
Oh my God.
It's not so kids is not clearly I have a son. So 1 or 2 is not a deal breaker. Any more than that, I'm kind of like, because what if we want to have another one together? I'm not trying to have a whole bunch of kids.
Right. You're not trying to hit a Jackson.
But yeah, no. And age does matter. Age does matter. Only because, like you said, that has to deal more with the relationship with the mom. Like, if you have a 1-year-old, y'all could still be going through a whole lot of drama. Like, as a person who has a child with somebody I'm not in a relationship with anymore, when he was younger, we had so much drama. And now that he's older, we've grown and we've fixed a lot of things. But just knowing personally where that could be. Right. So yes, age matters, how many matters, but I'm not saying that having kids is 100% a deal breaker. It's not for me.
Okay. Alicia, what you think?
I love children, so it wouldn't matter to me, but I would look at, do you have 2 3-year-olds, 2 4-year-olds? You get what I'm saying? Like, okay, what are you making that's happening behind the scenes? So you may say that you're faithful, but your history shows differently. So those are the things I would think about, like, okay, what kind of person is this really? And if I saw that, I wouldn't be interested, not because of the number of kids, but because clearly you were doing some things that other people probably didn't know about. So you might not be as honest as what I would need.
That's true. And I will also say to that and add, kids tell everything. So you get you get a bond with the child. They'll tell you what's going on. It's like, no, but it's real.
Ain't no psych. I ain't gonna lie. When Kaden was younger, I'd be like, Kay, what's your daddy? I was like, who was over your dad's house? Who was
Right. Who was there? What they say?
like, was
What?
your dad talking about me? What he say?
Mm-hmm.
Not anymore. Like I said, we've grown. We've grown.
Was you about to say something, Portia?
Well, because my little girl gives me the business daily. And the last time she was here, I was cleaning out my closet, literally, not figuratively. And she is standing in the doorway. So like, I can't escape from this question. And she's like, how long have you and my dad been together? And I gave her the year. And she's like, because we were still in the house in that year. I said, yes. And 2 months after your mom and dad separated, that's when me and your dad started dating. That's the first time we ever met. And like, she was counting it out. Baby girl had it down packed. She was about to read me for filth for breaking her home. So we had to set the register straight, but kids will bear all. So keep that in mind.
That was her mom trying to make sure that, you know, like y'all wasn't talking while they were still in the house. Like question mark. Like, so,
yeah.
But no, I mean, yeah, I feel like sometimes, and do with kids, I mean, once you see them, sometimes you fall in love with them, and it's just like, you know, it is what it is. And so you can't help that bond. Sometimes I feel like I have a better bond with the kids than I do the mate. You know what I mean? Sometimes. So, which is great. So, but, and I think I said this the last time, but this is the last one. Age. Now, y'all know I like a person, a mate that is older than me. Not all of y'all, it's like clutching pearls. Wait a minute. So, yeah, I have never dated anyone younger than me. I have never dated anyone in the same decade as me. Yeah, I've always dated people 10 plus years. And I do feel like I would like someone to continue to date someone that is older than me. And for me, I had the mentality of, oh, if they're older, then they will be more mature. Now that hasn't panned out in some areas, but I am a little bit willing to bend on that rule. I mean, have you all dated anybody younger than you?
I have, and I haven't even really been attracted to too many people younger. But as I age, and I'm a middle-aged woman now, I'm going to be 44. What I'm realizing is, for the most part, you either get them older or like it's just a weird space to find myself in, because I like older men. But now that I'm older myself, recently I was talking to somebody and he's a pop already. So me wanting to have kids, he's like,
calling him pop.
Well, no, his granddaughter calls him a pop. So because he is, you know what I mean? Fine pop, mind you, but still a pop. So at this point, me wanting to have my first kid, of course he's not with it, because why would he be? You know, so that I'm having. But you know, I still like older men.
Yeah, no, for sure.
For me, I did used to date older men, but now that I'm in my early 30s, like my partner now is the same. We're literally the exact same age. We're just separated by a couple months. But I used to date men that were older because I did not have a desire for children. I never had a desire to birth my own children. So age was never a factor in me choosing a partner, because I know some people, if they're looking to have kids, they might choose somebody along their same age. So fertility and all those things. But for me, that wasn't a factor. Plus, I assumed, to Sierra's point, more mature. But now that I'm older, and like I think in my 20s when I was dating men in their, you know, early mid 30s, they're not more mature. They're the same people. They did not grow. And I'm not sure how that happened. But then I also realized that a lot of those older men were, when I was in my early 20s, were dating me in the hopes that I would be more naive than a 30-year woman. And in some ways I was. But I've been very fortunate in my life to have seen a lot of life. And so I wasn't as immature as they thought I'd be, which is probably why it ended a lot of the times. But, you know, now I'm looking for somebody who can meet me where I am, or I guess I was, not anymore, but was looking for somebody to meet me where I was. And honestly, when I met my partner, I wasn't really looking that hard. I was just swiping away because it was the early, you know, we were fresh out of COVID. We had just gotten back outside and all the things. So I was like, I'm going to be outside. I was going all over the world and everything at the time. But anyway, different points of your life, different, I guess, criteria.
That's true. Yeah, that does matter where you are in your life too, because we all grow and get into new things. So, Danielle, what you think?
I don't know. Like, so personally, I don't like dating younger men at all. I'm like, I already have one son. I don't need to. But I prefer my age or older, but like you said, for some reason, like I believe Alicia said it, I can't find men my age, like
I don't know
anywhere.
where they at.
I, I'm
The
like, where
Pawns
are you? Like,
slim. Where the frogs at?
for
They're dating.
men who are in their late 20s, early 30s are super attracted to me, and I don't know why. I think it's because they're in that stage where it's like, oh, I want an older woman type of thing. And I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna give them the time of day. I'm not gonna say no. I'm single, but but I prefer older men, um, or men my age. But like I said, like for some reason, it's just the younger guys that are just like in my face. Like the last guy that I talked to, actually the last guy that I talked to on a serious note was 47. So he's 10 years older than me. But he's the only one. Aside from him, every other dude has been 29, 30, 31. And I'm like, that's not super young compared to my age. I'm 38 now, but it's young enough where they're just now figuring themselves out. If actually they're males, so they may not even be there yet. They still playing.
Yeah.
They're still out in the field playing their games, and they're like, they just, for some reason, they're attracted to older women, and I don't know what it is. But yeah, preference wise, I would prefer someone my age or older. But for some reason, that's not what's out there right now. I don't know. And I don't, like you said, I don't know where they are. I have no idea.
I would be open to, dating somebody my age. I'm not gonna, I'm at the point now that I think I done tried quite a bit of a lot of things, and yeah, and whatever, whoever God puts there at this point, I'm just like, let's go, let's try this thing, because I mean, I'm a little over it. I'm over I'm over dating. At this point, I'm ready to try speed dating. I'm ready to do it all. Like, yeah.
Works because of like I don't know if it's real or fake or whatever, but like that women in, when we get into our mid 30s or early 40s, all those things have a more sexual appetite, and that's word on the street, and so they're looking for that, and maybe that's why. I don't know, but think about like the stereotypes, like, okay, younger men are going to have more energy, right? Slightly older women might be more sexually mature or have a stronger sexual appetite due to the phases of their life. Like, I don't know.
No, that's for sure.
I can personally attest to that, because that makes sense. Younger guys they still have that sexual drive, right? That appetite, like you were talking about. I was talking to a guy who was in his 40s. He was like 42. And he literally said to me, he was like, and I hope this is not too much for the show, but he was like, we don't have to have sex every time we see each other. I was like, what? I said, sir, we see each other like once a week or once every 2 weeks. Yeah, we do. Because like, we talking right now, I'm not getting it from nobody else, my dude. Like, what you mean?
Right, let's go. So, no.
And he was like, I was shocked. I was like, is this real? So I'm like, maybe that's why, because no, for real. I was like, you're a man and you're telling me like, we don't have to do this every time. Yeah, we do. I don't know who lied to you, but once a week is not a lot.
Educate them.
I was like, yo, so maybe there is something to be said about that. Maybe it is, because I don't know what men go through with their bodies in their, once they hit their 40s and stuff. I don't know. But yeah, that threw me for a loop. So it could be something to do with that, with younger guys just kind of knowing maybe that women, when they hit that 30s and 40s, they're in their sexual prime.
Right.
Well, I don't know. Interesting. I never thought about that.
Alicia, I feel like you got a comment.
No, I'm just listening.
I'm shocked. All right. Anybody else got anything to say on the topics? So, Well, I'm going to close it out with the bottom line is try not to put a label on a relationship or a potential. Broaden your horizons because the pickings are slim, and sometimes that perfect person might not be in your previous expectation list, which is something too we talked about in a previous episode called partner expectation. So, just be open minded, and you might be surprised in the outcome. And I'm saying that out loud to you and saying it out loud to myself. Okay. So, but I want to thank my friends for joining me. I hope that all of you all watching enjoyed my first live. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me. I'm on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Facebook, all under CC the Diva. And I appreciate your time, and y'all enjoy the holiday weekend. Thanks, ladies.